Before cities, before kingdoms, before civilization dared to call itself civilized, there was violence, and wherever there was violence, there was a mind, sharp, desperate, and endlessly inventive, asking one question: how do I hurt them before they hurt me? This is not a story about glory. This is not a celebration of war. This is the story of how human beings, over 100,000 years, turned a sharp rock into a weapon capable of erasing entire cities. From the spear to the nuclear bomb. From a single man dying in the dust to millions. This is the evolution of war weapons. Long before language, long before fire was tamed or grain was grown, our ancestors picked up a rock. Not to build, to kill. The old Allen stone tool, a fist-sized chunk of flint chipped to a crude edge, is humanity's oldest known weapon, dating back to million years. By 500,000 BCE, Homo sapiens ancestors had learned to shape flint into hand axes, sharper, deadlier, and capable of piercing flesh with terrifying efficiency. Then came the spear. Wooden hunting spears dating back 300,000 years, balanced like a modern javelin, were engineered tools of death. Around 64,000 BCE, in South Africa, archaeologists found evidence of the bow and arrow, possibly the most consequential invention in the history of warfare. For the first time, a human being could kill from a distance, from safety, without looking into their enemy's eyes. When humans discovered that copper and tin could be melted together to form bronze, they unlocked a new age of slaughter. The dagger came first, then the sword, then the axe, shaped not for chopping trees, but for splitting skulls through helmets. The Sumerians were among the first to field organized armies. They lined soldiers in tight formation, a phalanx, shields locked together, spears extended. Around 2000 BCE, the war chariot was born. Thunder on hooves. 2 horses at full gallop, a warrior atop launching arrows. At the Battle of Kadesh, nearly 5,000 chariots charged. It remains one of the largest chariot battles ever fought. Fast. Mobile. Terrifying. When the Hittites first learned to smelt iron, they kept the secret jealously guarded, like a national superweapon. Iron was harder and cheaper than bronze. The Greeks perfected the phalanx. Rows of heavily armored hoplite warriors, each carrying an 8-foot spear in a large round shield. But it was Rome that turned warfare into a science. The Roman legionnaire carried the pilum, a heavy javelin designed to bend on impact. He also carried the gladius, a short, stabbing sword perfect for the brutal close-quarters slaughter of melee combat. And then came the siege engines. The ballista, the onager, and the siege tower, a rolling fortress that allowed attackers to walk over walls. Meanwhile, in China, the Han Dynasty was perfecting the crossbow, a weapon so powerful it gave peasant soldiers the killing power of trained archers. In 672 CE, the Byzantine Empire launched Greek fire, a liquid fire that burned on water and could not be extinguished. Around 850 CE, Chinese alchemists accidentally mixed charcoal, sulfur, and potassium nitrate. They called it huo yao, fire medicine. Gunpowder. The Chinese military quickly saw the potential. By the 10th century, they had fire lances, bamboo tubes that shot flames, and shrapnel. The first European cannon appears around 1326 CE. It was crude, a vase-shaped tube that fired an iron ball, but the sound shook walls. By 1453, the Great Bombard demolished the ancient walls of Constantinople in 53 days, ending the Byzantine Empire. One cannon. One city. One empire erased. At the Battle of Pavia in 1525, Spanish arquebusiers decimated French knights. The era of the armored knight was over. Gunpowder had killed chivalry. By 1862, the Gatling gun could fire 200 rounds per minute. Gatling believed it would make war so horrifying that nations would refuse to fight. The American Civil War was the first industrial war. Rifled muskets, ironclad warships, and the telegraph. Over 620,000 Americans died. In 1867, Alfred Nobel invented dynamite. He intended it for mining. Armies immediately recognized it was perfect for shells in trenches. When World War I began, generals imagined cavalry charges. Within months, both sides had dug thousands of miles of trenches. A killing machine. At Ypres, German engineers released 168 tons of chlorine gas. A yellow-green cloud drifted toward Allied trenches. Gas warfare had arrived. In 1916, the British unveiled the Mark I tank, a steel behemoth that could cross trenches. Its effect was immediate and devastating. World War II was industrial slaughter at twice the speed. Germany's Blitzkrieg combined tanks, bombers, and motorized infantry at sea. The aircraft carrier replaced the battleship. Japan launched 353 aircraft from 6 carriers to attack Pearl Harbor. Naval warfare went vertical. The strategic bomber changed everything. Raids on Hamburg created firestorms. The bombing of Dresden remains controversial to this day. Germany's V-2 rocket climbed to the edge of space before falling faster than the speed of sound. There was no warning, no defense, but the weapon that changed history was something that split the very fabric of matter, the atomic bomb. At 5:29 a.m. on July 16, 1945, the world's first nuclear device was detonated. The light was visible for 200 miles. J. Robert Oppenheimer recalled Hindu scripture, "Now I am become death." The destroyer of worlds. The Cold War followed. By 1986, the US and Soviets had over 65,000 nuclear warheads. Today, 9 nations hold approximately 12,500. A single modern hydrogen bomb is 3,000 times more powerful than the one dropped on Hiroshima. We have never used one again, and so far, that restraint is the most important weapon of all. The arc of human weapons is a mirror. It reflects our ingenuity, our fear, our cruelty, and our desperate attempts to survive. Now that we have the power to end all war by ending ourselves, do we finally have enough reason to choose peace? Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, leave a comment, share it, and subscribe, because history deserves to be heard.